Good morning. Today is January 15, 2025. Welcome to another episode of Legal Grounds Morning Cup. I'm your host, Texas consumer and real estate attorney, Benjamin Sanchez. Today, I will briefly discuss why an immediate letter of representation from your attorney to the opposing side is important. So join us for another Morning Cup. So let's first talk about what a letter of representation is. A letter of representation is basically a letter that goes from your attorney to the other side or to whoever needs to know that you are now represented by that attorney. What that letter of representation also does is it will tell the other side to cease and desist from communicating directly with you and to have all further communications with the attorney. Now, there's a caveat there because sometimes there's an existing business relationship that needs to continue, or some sort of relationship that needs to continue that doesn't need to be micromanaged by the attorney. And certainly the attorney may not be part of that other business. So sometimes we have to state in our letter of representation that as far as this particular issue is concerned that we're representing you on, talk to me, the attorney, but for the day-to-day operations or relationship matters, then you can speak to each other. Hopefully, that gets the point across. When does this letter of representation become useful, and why should an attorney do it at the very beginning of the representation? The issue is that we do a lot of debt defense, for example, here at Sanchez Law Firm, and we have other types of cases as well. So when when our clients are being harassed by debt collectors, when they're being hounded by financial institutions or even the opposing party, that letter of representation is meant to cut that harassment off. So now we're the barrier, right? We're the shield between the opposing side and you. And even if we're doing a demand letter that's required under the law before we can file a lawsuit, we will first send out a letter of representation letting the other side know that we represent our client and that they're to no longer talk to our client about this matter, and that we will have a demand letter forthcoming. Some attorneys will wait and not do that letter of representation, and they will just do the demand letter when it's ready. But if that demand letter takes 4, 6, 8 weeks to prepare and get done because of the research and all of that, then that means there's going to be 4, 6, 8 weeks of more possible harassment communications. We also don't want our clients obviously saying things that may end up hurting their case. So the quicker we can step in and be the voice for our client, the better. The quicker we can have the other side communicate with us instead of our client, the better. So that is the reason why a letter of representation is very important when you start out representation. And here at Sanchez Law Firm, we begin every process that certainly isn't litigation with a letter of representation. There are other things that we do when we get involved in the lawsuit, and I'll discuss that on another video. But as far as just the regular kind of communication, demand, a response to demand. So even if someone hires us to respond to someone else's demand, we still send that initial letter of representation, letting the other side know, and that we will do our research, review, and then we'll prepare and send them a response to their demand. So again, if you have an attorney, make sure that letter of representation is sent out right away. Here at Sanchez Law Firm, we definitely do that. Hopefully this has been helpful, and I want to thank you for joining us for another episode of Legal Grounds Morning Cup. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.